Jake, some news with the Browns. Duke Johnson, who was involved in that contract dispute, wants to be traded. Went out and got a new agent, and he went out and hired Drew Rosenhaus. Certainly seems like when you go and make a move like that, you're trying to force something.
Yeah, it's not a secret. He's not happy with how he's being treated in Cleveland, and he's not happy with his position with the team. And it was interesting to me that he gave up his bargaining position by showing up to minicamp and being present for that time. But it doesn't necessarily mean his demands have changed. And it looks like he, like you said, Dave, with the hiring of Drew Rosenhaus, who's been a part of, or at least authored many trades in his career, including the recent one there with Emmanuel Ogbah. He played a part in that one too. It does seem like he wants to force the hand of the Browns to make some sort of deal happen. Now, whether that happens is, it remains to be seen. I still don't think the Browns are going to back off of the value that they think he's worth and what he think he can be for the first 8 weeks of the season. But it does at least point in the trending direction that there is no repairing this relationship.
And when you look at it, the Browns don't need to be really in any hurry to get rid of him. He has a contract. If he's going to play, he's going to have to play with the Browns. And the last thing in the world you want to do is sit out an entire year. It worked out for Le'Veon Bell. I'm not sure that that's the way you want to do it if you're an NFL running back.
Yeah, I mean, Duke Johnson is certainly not in the Le'Veon Bell territory, as you mentioned there, Dave. He's not the same type of all-around threat in terms of running the football and catching the football. He's more of a niche player, but there's a spot in the NFL for niche players, and teams use them all the time. The Browns have tried to use Duke Johnson. It just hasn't materialized into as big a role as some hope. But he's playing for his next contract. John Dorsey did give him his current contract, which is top 15 NFL running back money, which is good money, but he's still playing for another contract. And his situation, he feels like in Cleveland, is not going to provide him with the necessary stats to be able to justify some team giving him pretty good money again. So it's going to be interesting. I still don't know what way it's going to go, but I think it probably trends in the direction that Duke Johnson is not with the Browns in 2019.
Does it look like that's the type of thing that can be a distraction? Do you agree? I mean, the more it lingers on, if in fact, the Rosenhaus move is to try to force it, it just seems like that could become a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this is the only news we're really talking about, and the only news that we're talking about branching off of that is Baker Mayfield's reaction to it. And, I think Mayfield understands the importance of this year with the Browns and the weapons that they have, that they don't want any distractions. I still don't think that it was justifiable to talk about Duke talking about another person's money or Baker talking about Duke's money. That's not what he's doing. He's talking about those distractions that this whole thing is constantly bringing. It has been the only story that has really carried over from the beginning of the offseason to the end now. So I think the Browns would be best served in this situation. I had kind of thought, to be honest, Dave, that it was going to go away and they'd sort of mended that relationship through the end of minicamp, but it doesn't seem to be that way. And the Rosenhaus hiring is certainly news on the front of wanting to get out. So it is lingering, and I think the Browns would be best served to go into training camp without any guys who don't want to be in that building as they try to take a bunch of different personalities and sort of mend them into this team framework. It would be difficult to do if you have a guy who doesn't want to be in that building.